Happy Sunday. This was kind of an impromptu live today. I was getting ready and I figured, why don't I do the next step to contouring? So we went over the basic steps of contouring, how to contour, what colors to use. So I got a couple questions after the fact saying, okay, well, after I contour, do I bronze? Do I blush? What else do I do? Or do I just stick with contouring? So the quick answer is you can kind of do whatever you would like. Contouring is putting kind of, again, those shadows so your face has more of a chiseled look. Blush brightens your face, kind of puts that color back in since we are using the color correcting tinted moisturizer or the foundation to give us a blank canvas. So it's really up to you. So today what I'm going to show is my contouring real quick, and then how to use the blush and the highlights and kind of where you place the different products. And then I wanted to show you, because a lot of ladies got the Mary & Bright set, which is, I do have to say, it's one of my favorites. So I'm going to just go over the shadows since I have shown how to do the lip sense with the Mary & Bright. So let's get started. So I put all of my skincare on. I have my SPF. I also have my color correcting tinted moisturizer. I use my pore minimizer, so my Silk, which I'll post about that another day. So I'm going to then go in with my contour color. So again, you can use a deep color correcting tinted moisturizer because it blends really well. You can use our highlighting set, our contouring set. So that's what I'm going to use today. You can use the deep concealer, a bronze color if you would like. But again, I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to find my line here. I'm going to put a little bit. So again, I'm going to kind of go from here and up one. So I'm going to go right here. Okay, and I'm going to draw this line over here. And then I'm going to blend this all in to make that kind of shadow. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit up here too. And down here. I'm not going to contour my nose. Again, I've been kind of blessed with smaller nose. I don't really need to contour it, but if you would like to contour your nose, this would be the time too. So I'm going to blend that all in. So again, putting a little bit of depth to our makeup. Just a trick too, if you do too much, so let's say that you put a little bit too much, feel free to take the brush that you used for your color correcting tinted moisturizer or your foundation and just correct it. Just kind of rub it off. It is forgiving, and again, you have some time before it dries. Once it sets, it's going to be there all day, but you do have some time, especially with the cream base. And I did want to talk about, as far as cream base is concerned, cream-based makeup, it sounds very, very scary, but once you get used to it, it is by far the best. It lasts all day. It doesn't crack. It doesn't crease. It doesn't fall. And it just goes on so effortlessly on your skin, no matter what skin type you have. So, those that are kind of shying away from cream base, I promise you will love them once you kind of get the hang of it. It's not difficult, but it's just different. It's different than kind of the traditional powders. Okay, so now we've done our contour, right? So where do I put my blush? I already did the contour. So the rule of thumb is taking your brush. Hey, Vicky, you're taking your brush, right? This is where I want to contour, right above that. Now, if I roll one more, that's kind of where I want my blush. Another trick is to take your hand, and you're going to make an L perpendicular or in line with your nose. And this little area right here is going to be where you're going to do your blush, okay? So I have the contour, I have my shadow. See how that contoured? And I have my nice shadow. Now it's time to kind of brighten up those cheekbones. Blush to me is very important as far as where the placement is, because it can dramatically change the look of your face and the dimensions of your face. I'll have to post a picture of like putting blush down in the traditional way, because always remember the traditional way to do this was make that fishy face and go where the fishy face is. And right down there. It's so low and it really does bring your face down. So I'm going to do it. You want to do it a little bit higher. Hey mom, you want to do it a little bit higher on those cheekbones and up. So it will kind of brighten that face upwards. So I'm going to use our cream base. I love our cream based blush as well because it blends so nicely. It's super pigmented, so you don't have to use a lot. Like this tube I've had for almost 2 years now. Oh, and I used the wrong one. Let me go grab the blush. You don't want to use this. This is deep. Wait 1 minute. Okay, I have my chocolate cherry, sorry. So I wanted to use my chocolate cherry blush. So I'm gonna put this on. So there's a couple different methods you can do. You can put the blush actually on your face with just a couple dots. You can put it on a palette. You can put it on the top of one of your other makeups and just kind of work it into your brush. So I'm gonna do here just so I can show you how little you actually need. So again, we're gonna make this L shape. I'm gonna take my blush and I'm gonna put 3 little dots. Okay, look, that's all I used. And I'm gonna do one side that you can see kind of the difference. Okay, so there's my blush. I'm gonna get my blush brush here and I'm gonna just kind of work it all in. And again, I'm doing this kind of upward motion and this is all I need for blush. Now you can make this as dark as you want. I'm gonna go kind of for a neutral kind of look, but if you can see how that kind of brightened this up. So we have our contour, then roll up 1 with our finger, and this is gonna be where your blush is. So you can add as much as you want. This is more of like, so the chocolate cherry is more of kind of like a brownish versus kind of a really, you know, bright pink. You can use a bright pink if you want. We have so many different colors to pick from for our blushes. We also do have powder blushes if you're interested, but I think my favorite is the cream blush. Okay, so see how there's just, it kind of makes that face look awake, and it is kind of on my cheekbones, but traditionally, again, we would kind of go down here on this part of our smile. You're supposed to smile and then put it here. It's just a very different way of doing our makeup. So again, we make our L, so I'm going to shoot for right in here. Okay, so I'm going to put my blush here, and I need a little bit of it, if I can get it. Sorry, I don't want it to like completely come out of the tube. Oh, like I just did. Here, I'll just put a little bit on my finger. Okay, so I'm gonna just go right in there. I'm gonna use my brush and I'm gonna work it in. So again, with this, let's say we put too much. Oh, I put too much. A nice little hack is taking a napkin and just kind of rubbing it all in because it takes a little bit off, or you can use your other brush for your color correcting tinted moisturizer. So let me take a little bit off my hair and kind of even it up. So this is how we're going to use the contouring plus blush. So it all depends on what kind of look you're going for. You can do both. You can do one or the other. It's kind of however you want it to look. So at first I was so confused. I'm like, well, wait, what's the difference between contouring and using blush? But you know, this is kind of what we learned, and I will also explain how to do bronzing, but we'll do a step 3 for that. So contouring and our blush, and then I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna put a little bit of a highlight. So again, now we're gonna take our brush. So we did 1 roll for the contouring, 1 roll for the blush, and then you do 1 more roll for your highlight. So I'm gonna go right up here. So again, I'm gonna use our kit, our highlighting kit. I'm just gonna put a couple of dots right there. So I'm not covering up my blush. It's almost like a layer, you know, they kind of keep building. So I'm gonna take another brush that's not, let me get some of this blush off, and I'm just gonna kind of work this into. Hey Amy. Okay, so now I have the 3 different layers, right? So I have my bronze, I have my blush, and then I have my highlight. So those are kind of the layers that you can kind of play with, but it just gives that face kind of that nice sun-kissed look. It gives you that contouring. It just brightens your face up versus just kind of the plain palette. So the next thing that I'm gonna go over, hi BFF, I'm gonna go over the 2 shadows that came with the Merry and Bright. And show you how I use them. So I use the Pink Sand Beach as my base. So just something to confirm or to make sure that people understand that I don't need a primer for my shadow. Unlike any other kind of the powder based, I would always have to use a primer because I would have fallout. I've hooded eyes, so anything that I put down here, it would go on top of my eye. I hated it. You had to use primer. We do not need primer for our shadow sense. I only put a base just so I have one neutral color that goes all the way up to my eyebrows, and then I can start applying. So again, the pink sand beach is what I put on my base. You don't have to do it. It just kind of gives me a nice starting point. But those that like having a base, it kind of just kind of flattens that surface. There are so many different colors that you can use. So I applied that. So my next is I'm going to use the Blissful. So this is the brown. This is going to be in my crease area. So I'm going to take a little bit off my brush. I really like this brown too. It's a nice warm brown. So I'm just going to put a little bit here. And for those hooded eyes, those ladies with hooded eyes, we open to make sure that we can still see it. I'm going to work this all in. I'm going to go for kind of like a neutral look today. We're going to go see Avatar. So I have my Avatar shirt on. All right. So again, I'm going to kind of work this all in. I'm also going to use this as my eyeliner. I'm going to show you how if you don't really like traditional eyeliners, you can use our Shadow Sense as an eyeliner too. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And I'll post an after picture because I won't keep you all on for me to do my mascara and my primer and all that. But I just want to show you because like I said, a lot of people got the Merry & Bright and it's such a pretty color set. I showed you ladies how to use the Merry & Bright lipstick with the liner. So I won't go over that again, but again, I'll post a picture of the final product. Okay, so it's a nice even brown. You can get some of the brushes and kind of blend them in. That's the trick about these Shadow Scents, is just to kind of blend. It really is your best friend and it makes it look so pretty. Okay, so that was my Blissful, that was my brown. So now I'm gonna go in with the, sorry, let me get the name of it. Brilliant Shimmer. So this is really pretty. So my ladies that don't like glitter or shimmer or anything like that, I promise you, you will love the Shadow Senses, the shimmers. We have glitters. Glitters may be a little bit much for people. I totally understand, but our shimmers are a beautiful in-between matte and glitter, and they look so nice on your actual lid of your eyelid. And it just brightens it all up and gives a nice glisten when the sun hits it or a light hits it, but it's not like overly glittery. So if you're new to Shadow Sense, there's matte, shimmer, and glitter. I love our shimmers. So I'm going to take this Blissful, or not Blissful, sorry. This is Brilliant Shimmer. So there's two ways. You can either take your brush and you can put it all over. And this is what I'm going to start with, and then I'm going to show you my trick. So I'm going to kind of work this all in so I can kind of meet those two colors. This is so pretty. I love this color. And I'm going to just work this all into the lid. And it is going to blend out really, really nicely. But I want to show you, if you really want it to be not super shimmery, but I mean, if you want the shimmer to come out a little bit more, especially kind of on that middle of your lid or towards the center of your eye. Okay, so isn't that really pretty? Kind of blending that all in. Is I get another flat brush. And I'm going to put a generous amount on it. So again, this is the shimmer. And I'm just going to pat it on. Let me get a little bit more. So what it's going to do is it's just going to concentrate that color. So I'm going to do more towards my inner eye. And if you can see, like this one's more blended, but this one kind of really picks up that shimmer. So let me do a little bit more. So again, you can use your finger for this, but I really like to accentuate kind of the inner part of my eye. Okay, so let me just show you if you wanted to use your finger too. Just take a little bit on your finger and I'm just gonna tap. That's the trick with the glitter too, for those that have glitter, because there are some really pretty glitter colors like glazed. Oh, it's so pretty, which actually it would look really pretty on this color too. But the trick is to take a little bit on your finger and kind of tap it. So what it's gonna do is it's going to keep that pigmentation versus, you know, kind of buffing it out and blending it. So if you want a more concentrated look, use your finger or a flat brush and just kind of pat it. You don't want to blend it. But look how pretty that is. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so we did the two Shadow Senses. So I'm going to take this brown now, okay? So if I want a little bit of an eyeliner, right? So you can take an angled brush and pray for me. We're doing this on camera here. So I'm going to take this angled brush. I'm going to get some more of my, thanks, Mom. I know, it's so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit more of my Blissful, okay? So I'm going to take my angled brush, and I'm going to put a little bit on here. Oh, thanks, Aim. Yeah, this is a really nice set. So I'm going to go in here, and you can kind of just take your line, and it doesn't have to be precise. That's the nice thing about the shadows, is that you can kind of blend them. You can make them precise if you would like, but if you want just a little bit of color here. Hi, Janae. See, so it's just a nice subtle line. So if you want something like, okay, I want to break up the colors, but I don't feel like wearing eyeliner because I don't need it that dramatic, you can take this nice light brown, use an angled brush, and then I'm going to follow that. You can actually do a wing if you would like to do a wing too, which, oh goodness, I love the wing. I'll show you kind of my tricks here. So I'll just do a little wing here. Okay, so see how that kind of just brightened that up a little bit? So you can use that brown, you can use darker browns, you can do a lighter brown. That's the nice versatility of our shadow senses, is that you can use them for other things like your eyebrows, your liner. So it doesn't have to just go on your eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this over here and wing it out just a little bit. Make sure it's even here. You can take it all the way across. You can buff it out if you would like. It just kind of gives a little bit more depth. Yeah, I can't do it. I've gotten better. I would love to have someone come on here. Like, I have a cousin that is wonderful at makeup. I would love for her to come on here and show you guys the wing. I watch all these like TikToks and Instagram stories like how to do the perfect wing. Maybe we'll do a session. Maybe we'll try it, but this is kind of what I just try a little bit. But usually you want to go up towards, let me get the right angle here. You want to go up towards your eyebrows. But anyways, we're going to just keep it simple today. But this is just using that light brown that's still in that set. So I now use the brown as my crease. I use the really pretty shimmer on the outside, and then I use that brown just as a really light eyeliner. So then you can finish up. You can start where you can have your lip sense, because again, this set comes with 2 shadows, a lip sense, which is the actual lip color, and then the gloss. So it's really pretty, and I will post a final picture of everything together. If you just made it on, we went over how to contour, how to add your blush to the contour, because those are 2 different things, and there's 2 different placements. And then we also use the Miriam Bright Shadow Sense, how to use that. But I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, and if you have any questions, let me know. Take care.